Lana Del Rey is still a newlywed. She is newly married to her Republican husband, Jeremy Dufresne, in Louisiana. And I think unfairly, Lana Del Rey has faced a lot of backlash for marrying a Republican. He is openly a Trump supporter, and I can only guess that she isn't just okay with that. I have to guess that she is sympathetic to his views as well. And coming from a very far left place like the music industry, I understand that she is not in friendly company when it comes to that type of decision. So while she was giving a speech presenting an award to Jack Antonoff, her music producer, at Variety's Hitmakers event, she credited Jack Antonoff's example with encouraging her to get married to what she describes as an honest partner. And this is something that she says she needed. She needed to find a spouse like this because she works in a morally bankrupt industry, which is the music industry. And I totally understand where she's coming from with that.
You need some type of something to hold on to that's real.
So let's take a look at that clip on X.
Waited so long to get married and why I met my amazing husband, and I really feel like there's kind of a singer's curse around like meeting an honest partner who has no skin in the game, no dog in the race, and it's super nerve-wracking to have to kind of hold on to an innocent perception of how things could go when you're in an industry where maybe your values and your morals don't quite match up with what's going on. He's a big...
Shocking.
So this says, Lana Del Rey on her marriage with her Republican husband. Oh, Lana, we know your secret and we support you. So they think that Lana Del Rey is secretly based. And I kind of agree. You can't be married to a Trump supporter and have any hatred in your heart for them because of that.
I did see something that like they attached that speech to like a tweet that said Lana will perform Amazing Grace at Trump's inauguration. I'm like, well, that sounds fake.
Wait, really? That would be
amazing.
Kind of incredible. Yeah. That would be a moment in Americana.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's true, by the way, guys. it was something I saw.
I like that she also seems to have adopted this Southern accent from him as well.
Is it rubbing off on her?
Like I never heard her talk like that until the last couple of years, but she just has a powerful energy about her now that she is in this relationship.
I mean, she has a pretty great energy in general, meaning that she has a very unique, like she seems to effortlessly embody the rebel attitude that so many of the likes of a Halsey manufactures.
Wait, what?
Like an independent attitude. Like an independent attitude towards the industry. She feels independent from the industry in a way that Halsey tries to be, where it comes off as disingenuous.
Well, I watched the rest of this speech, and the most endearing thing about it is she was admitting that she has been ignorant of the way the music industry works for years now. And
how can you be in the industry and be ignorant of it? That doesn't sound real to me. But
literally, she credited Jack Antonoff with telling her that you have to submit to win a Grammy.
Oh yeah, she's like, I didn't know. I thought they just put you in there.
She had no idea that was a thing. And I like that she never seemed ambitious. She was just creative. Mm-hmm. And she never seemed snarky. She always seemed vulnerable.
Snarky is the word. Like, if you asked me the number one way to kill any interest of anything in Hollywood for me, man or woman, is snark. Because it's anti-vulnerability. It's designed as some type of cover from putting yourself out there. That was what I was talking about when I said one of my issues with millennials is they seem to love irony because it allows them to hide themselves. And the only time they're ever truly vulnerable is when they're talking about nostalgia. Like they don't ever want to put themselves out there lest they be chastised for being real.
Mm-hmm. So I always sensed that she wasn't putting on a front because she's only successful in an industry like this in spite of herself.
Yeah.
She's not a backbiting, hungry, ambitious, greedy person. She's not attention seeking, that's for sure. She had this wedding completely outside of the public eye.
She definitely doesn't give off the social climber
Right.
vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
From the outside looking in.
Well, that's why she decided she married someone who was not part of her industry because she at least wanted that taste of normalcy and not have to be married to someone that she's in competition with.
Yeah.
Which happens so often in the entertainment industry in general.
Like I said, the happiest actors that I've seen are these actors who've been married for 25 years. Sometimes they marry other actors or of the same strata as they are, but other times they just marry normal people.
But regardless, it's just important that you don't see your spouse as your competition, you know?
Yeah.
That you're competing with them for status or clout or money or friends even. Like that's something
when your
that
social
you see.
life becomes part of your professional life, things get complicated really, really quickly.
Right.
And very rarely, if ever, for the better.
If you were unfamiliar with Jeremy Dufresne, this says he serves as a captain for an alligator boat tour company just outside of New Orleans. Jeremy decided that life at a chemical plant working 7 days a week and shrimping on vacation days was not his calling. After a little convincing by his family, he got his captain's license and started running tours. He quickly realized this was a great fit and never thought of going back to his previous career. Jeremy's a great airboat captain and loves interacting with wildlife and his customers.
Find yourself an airboat captain, ladies.
He's just a humble alligator tour guide.
That's good.
And she's a pop singer. Can I make it any more obvious?
They will write songs about this for generations.
Truly, it's a love story for the ages. But I saw Peachy Keenan tweeted, Lana Del Rey comes out as a marriage appreciator. Gwen Stefani comes out as a devout Christian. What is happening?
I mean, look, I'm going to be completely honest. Since I am an extremely cynical person,
nothing is happening.
No, the opposite. Whenever this stuff starts to happen, I just think it's a bunch of opportunists latching on to what they think the changing and prevailing winds are in the culture.
Well, you did mention that you saw the Gwen Stefani ad, right?
The Hallow or...
Do you have it
I don't,
now?
I think you sent it to me, right?
I can send you the link if you want.
This one right here?
Yeah. She's doing a promotion for Hallow, which is the most popular app for Christian prayer.
Yeah, here we go.
Christmas season has always been my favorite time of the year. It's a season that we get to celebrate the birth of our Lord. This year, I'm excited to share that I've partnered with this amazing prayer, meditation, and music app called Hallow on their 25-day prayer challenge leading up to Christmas called Advent Pray 25. Join me and millions of other Christians around the world as we celebrate together the truth that God so loved the world that he gave us his only son. Download Hallow and join me in praying every day. God bless.
Somebody just cuts and is like, so what do you think of gay rights?
Exactly, that's what they do. Now, Gwen Stefani is promoting this prayer app.
She's still married to Blake Shelton?
She is.
Okay.
She's still married to Blake Shelton. Mm-hmm. So Gwen Stefani is promoting Hallow, this prayer app, and then she gets a barrage of negativity simply for being Christian.
Yeah.
As far as I can tell. I didn't even know this, but apparently when she was going on tour with No Doubt, she still went to church on Sundays. I had no idea that.
That's crazy.
And she's Japanese.
That's crazy. I'm going to let you know a little secret. The other day, Olivia asked me to get an Advent chocolate calendar.
Okay.
I had no clue what the hell she was talking about.
Wait, you never had that growing up? You never had an Advent calendar?
Not an look, it was the chocolate part that threw me off. I was like, what the hell is that? I was like, do I find that in the candy section or do I find that in the calendar section? Where the hell do I go?
What on earth was your childhood?
My childhood was amazing, okay? The point was, I had no idea what she was talking about.
You never had an Advent calendar.
I didn't, I don't think so.
That's crazy.
Maybe I did and I don't remember it. But
I mean, they do suck, but when you're a kid, you don't care.
Yeah. She bought.
I feel sad for you.
She got.
I really feel sad for you.
She's eating the chocolate from the Advent chocolate calendar, or I'm like, do I ask them for the... First, I'm a guy, so I can't ask for help anyways. But do you go to the calendar section, or do you go to the chocolate section? Where do you put it? They ended up not having it where I was going. We had to go to Walgreens to find one.
I'm actually still in shock that you didn't have that growing up.
So
I feel so sorry for you.
My issue with these types of stories, Lana's a little bit different because she's kind of always been against the culture, right?
Mm-hmm.
As we've discussed. But as the culture shifts, celebrities will start, latching on to things that they might not have had strong opinions about beforehand. Now, certainly that doesn't seem to be the case for Gwen Stefani if she was in fact going to church back then. But maybe she doesn't take this sponsorship with Hallow if the culture hasn't shifted a little bit.
True. Tastes are shifting.
Yeah.
And
they need to stay relevant.
It's sort of like what we were talking about in regard to Sebastian Stan. You played Trump in this movie that was essentially a smear piece.
Nominated for awards for that.
Still getting awards, but the other celebrities don't want to associate with that because it's becoming controversial to be a rabid leftist.
Yes.
And people are warming up to the idea that you can openly be pro-marriage or you can openly be a practicing Christian. And it's a safer time to do those things. It's also a safer time to be a Trump supporter than it used to be.
Oh, yeah.
Or to be married to one.
I did a video last Friday. I think it came out on Sunday, where I talked about the guy who wrote YMCA. Originally said, I don't want him using my music. But then it went number one on Billboard. And he's like, you know what? Maybe this isn't so bad. And then he actually, but that's one thing to be like, look, originally what happened is he said no. And then he realized that they had gotten the license to use it, at his rallies. And that's one thing to be like, okay, I can't do anything about it. Because that's my point of the segment was like, did you know there's an actual Wikipedia page just for the artists who have told Trump he can't use their music?
Yeah.
Yeah, a whole list, A to Z. But he didn't just...
Because it became a virtue signal.
But he didn't just do that. He then went and thanked Trump for it, which is a vastly different thing than just saying, I guess I can't stop him from using my music. All of these are kind of small events that shift a larger scale change in the culture. Like John Jones doing the Trump dance after the UFC fight. Though I think that's a little bit less relevant because the UFC's been based for quite some time. It's when it started making its way into the NFL, all of these other places. But as you said, we're seeing this now happen with certain aspects of religion and Christianity coming back.
Ordinarily, I am the more cynical of the two of us. And I do
about
understand
people's motives. I'm always cynical about people's in Hollywood.
But I do understand exactly where you're coming from with that. Completely understand it.
Yeah. Not one, but does your faith, however, encourage you to give them the benefit of the doubt? It's kind of like what we were talking about the other day. It's like, who are you? Like, what was it we were talking about?
There was another celebrity who did a brand deal with Hallow, Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
And that was controversial because Liam Neeson has been openly pro-choice. I mean, not really even just passively like, woman's right to choose, but he's like passionately pro-choice. Like, so he's pro-abortion and identifies as a Catholic, which is contradictory. And he's said that publicly for years. So there were all of these Catholics and just, non-Catholic Christians who use the Hallow app who were saying like, I'm canceling my subscription because you are hiring people and paying people with my money that I'm giving you who are openly against our values.
Which means that you have to call into question whether Hallow is either doing their due diligence or they're making a deal with the devil, perhaps, to promote their brand.
Right.
Mark Wahlberg can't do it for everyone, so you got to...
It's not just Marky Mark anymore.
Exactly.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.